Movie Master is pleased to announce an excellent new package of animated short feature films for children of all ages. This excellent series of non-violent animation films featuring storylines and settings full of excitement, imagination and delightful characters has been created with the highest standards in mind. Gory and Gregor is a story about a typical boy and his funny little mate Gory, his duck. They set out to help some friends who are in a jam. The results are hilarious. You couldn't find two more heartwarming friends than Ballinell the little dog and Mianel the little cat. In this highly educational series of over 50 episodes, they bumble and fumble their way through life's mysteries in a most entertaining way. They meet the stork and the pigeon. They play with the vacuum cleaner and learn how to ring the bell. They compete with the little pig and the duckling and even become parents against their will. A truly wonderful children's animation series. Delta Space Mission takes us on a fantastic, futuristic, adventure-filled journey into far-off galaxies. The Delta team face their greatest challenge as their spaceship encounters a catastrophic volcanic eruption. The heroes are saved by the discovery of a weird and wonderful time machine. The Three Musketeers is a delightful story about the adventures of three mice and a dog who imitate the exploits of their namesakes in the Alexander Dumas novel, The Three Musketeers. We follow the adventures of our heroes as they encounter a group of cats who are determined to make off with the contents of the sausage shop being guarded by the Musketeers. In this highly creative series, a young boy and his sister explore the wonderful world of drawing. As they explain the characteristics of line, point, colour and the many other elements of art, the subject begins to take on a fresh and exciting new meaning. The little detective and his faithful, clever dog form an amusing team in their efforts to solve the cases in which they are involved. Their unorthodox methods result in some crazy situations. The wonderful world of children's animation is well served by this series, which involves hilarious encounters with pirates, typhoons and icebergs. Monkey is the manager of a debt-ridden abandoned hotel on Coco Island. In his efforts to attract tourists, Monkey launches bottles into the sea containing false messages about fictitious hidden treasures on the island. Our gullible heroes, Little Dog, Kitten and Bulldog, enlist the help of two suspicious characters, Tom Cat and Wolf, who lead them to the bounty. Little do they know that these two swindlers intend to steal the map and make off with the treasure themselves. Three Little Friends is a colourful and skillfully animated series which takes our heroes into the delightful world of animals. I Want to Know is an award-winning series which will be thoroughly enjoyed by everyone. Know-All and Boy walk through the wonderful world of nature, science and inventions. We learn some fascinating things as our heroes lead the way. The Dauntless from the Second Story is a marvellous, refreshing, full-length feature which tells the eventful story of Corina, who moves to a new neighbourhood and meets new school friends. Pin Pin is the charming story of a lovable penguin as he flies around the world in his balloon and shows us the life and nature of the world's different regions. You see the jungle, the desert, the North Pole and other fascinating areas. A brilliant space adventure story, The Last Assignment, features Kino, a young boy who has lost his parents while in space. Shipwrecked on an alien planet, he encounters a strange race of beings. From here, we follow his amazing adventures through the infinity of space until he reaches his final destination. Music and musical instruments are the fascinating subjects of this superb animation series. Each episode explores different instruments, their sounds and how they are made in a most unique and innovative manner. A stylized blend of entertainment, humour and education. Adventures Under the Sea. In their submarine, Kurt and Marina explore the underwater world, encountering shipwrecks, volcanic eruptions and dangerous sea monsters. Their ocean friends and Gizmo the robot are always ready to help them out of difficult situations in this exciting underwater adventure. Tom the nasty cat and his companions Stefan, Little Dog and Big Dog lead us through a world of adventure. This highly instructive 7-volume video package is a must for your child's education and knowledge about the world we live in. Movie Master prides itself on the non-violent educative aspects of these internationally acclaimed cartoons, which will be available soon at your favourite video outlet.
globe of the world will really help me with my geography. Now, let's see. There's Asia, Africa, America, Australia, Europe, oh, Antarctica. Goodness, there's so many islands and continents. 1, 2, 3. I wish they were all in one place. It would make learning easier.
Your wish is my command.
Whoa! What's happening? Where are we?
Exactly where you wish. We are now in a time and place when all the world was a single continent called Pangaea, over 600,000 million years ago.
Huh? Really? Pangaea, you say?
Yes. Now let's see. When was Pangaea formed exactly? Oh goodness. It was a long time ago.
Now that was a good time to learn geography when there was only one continent. Hey, my book doesn't say anything about this. You tell me.
Okay. Well, over time, Pangaea was divided into two continents, Gondwana in the south and Laurasia in the north. Then, in time, Laurasia divided once more into Eurasia and North America.
Oh, please, slow down. You're just confusing me. Who did all this dividing? You haven't told me why all this happened.
Come on, I'll show you.
Noel, where are you? Noel, where have you gone?
Down here.
Huh? Where are you? Say something.
Solid as a rock, that's me.
Oh, I thought I'd lost you.
Come on, you want to find out what happened? Follow me to the center of the earth. Come on.
To the center of the earth? Well, if you say so.
Now, let me see. Rocket systems all ready there. Retros, shovels engaged. Okay, hang on.
Oh, it's so hot in here. I feel like I'm on fire.
Have you ever seen ice banks floating on a frozen ocean? Huh?
Something cold sure would be a pleasant change, wouldn't it?
See, the continents are placed on plates that glide over a layer of molten matter existing below them. See? Look, all those layers there.
So these floating plates are why Pangaea was broken into two parts and Laurasia into three?
Exactly. But not only did they get broken, they also moved, floating here and there, constantly changing direction.
But why do the continents move around like that? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. There must be a reason why they keep on moving.
Yeah. Well, there are currents that push the hot molten matter upwards, and this moves the continental plates to the left or right.
But what happens if they bump into each other?
Earthquakes. Sometimes volcanoes also form at the point where two continents meet.
Wow, are we in a volcano now?
Yo-ho-ho!
Huh? If all this molten matter keeps pushing its way up among the continental plates, won't that mean the Earth will keep on getting bigger and bigger?
Not really, because in some places there are great deep cavities, and all that matter enters back underneath the Earth's crust.
Can you please tell me when all this happens, Noel?
Now, all the time. Just a second, I'll check this up. Yes, this also explains why the North Pole is being various countries, like Spain, the Sahara, and Madagascar. This also explains that after another 100 million years had passed, Gondwana also broke up and became South America and Africa. India was an island. And Antarctica, together with Australia, were starting to form an independent continent.
Stop, please. My head's beginning to hurt. I think I've learned enough.
As you wish.
Thank heavens, my old geography book's here. Let's see.
Don't you forget now, the continents are still moving, still changing. Just imagine what they're going to look like in the future.
Well, if they're still changing, Noel, why am I learning all this then?
Relax. The continents are going to stay just as they are for quite a few million years yet.
Phew, that's a relief to hear.
Bye-bye now. Bye.
Huh? Oh. Be quiet.
You shouldn't have been so angry with it. It's only doing its job.
Huh? What job?
Helping you keep your life in order, so you can make the most of your time.
Best thing I can do with my time is keep on sleeping.
Goodness me. We already sleep for 1/3 of our life. Do you really want to waste the other 2/3 sleeping as well?
I don't care. There's plenty of time to waste. It doesn't worry me.
Don't you realize that time is the 4th dimension of the universe?
What are the other three then?
Length, width, and height. Our universe has been around for over 70 billion years, and yet there are some atomic particles that only exist for a few billionths of a second. The solar system, too, has been around for billions of years. Wind sometimes needs millions of years to carve and shape mountains. Look out! Everything in our world takes time. Everything is ruled by time.
Even me?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If time didn't exist, there would be no day or night. No spring, summer, autumn, or winter. There'd be no youth, no old age, no life, and no death.
So clocks have existed ever since the world began.
Not clocks, time. Nature was the first clock that people could read.
Nature?
Mm-hmm. The Egyptians noted how the star Sirius reappeared on the same day every spring at the time of year when the Nile overflowed. That's how they worked out there were 365 days in the year. The Egyptians and the Babylonians noticed that the moon changes its phase 12 times a year. They divided the year into 12 months and the week into 7 days after the 7 wandering heavenly bodies. The sun, the moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. The Babylonians invented the solar clock by dividing the day into 12 hours, the hour into minutes, and the minutes into seconds.
But how did they work out the time if there was no sun?
By using eclipsodera. That's a word that means water thief in Greek. The Greeks divided the day into 6 parts: dawn, morning, afternoon, sunset, evening, and night. The Romans divided it into 8 equal parts.
Hey, Noel, what's that thing up there?
That's the first time measuring machine.
But how can you work out the time if it hasn't got a dial?
With this device, you don't see the time, you hear it. The bell rings every hour.
But then you'd have to remember if the bell has rung or not. I want to be able to see the time.
Kivsich and Wieck in Paris both felt just the same as you. They made the first horologe which used a dial. Look at that, huh?
Wow.
Ho, ho, ho.
Whee!
Wait for me.
Thank heavens. I thought I was going to be stuck in there forever.
People started wanting to know the time when they traveled abroad. Clocks like this one were miles too heavy to travel with. Did you know that the world is divided into 24 time zones? Huh? 24?
Wow.
Yeah.
I've lost it. How am I going to tell the time now?
How about using this instead? One of the first portable clocks was this steel one, invented by Peter Heinlein of Nuremberg.
That looks very smart.
Since his time, though, clocks have improved dramatically. These days, there are so many different ones. So many watches and clocks that we can take places with us.
Oh, I'm very tired now. Time feels like it's moving so slowly.
You wanted to pass faster, huh?
Stop, please, no. Make it slow down.
Whoa, I don't like it like this either.
Drat, I missed it. Move time back so I can shoot again.
Now, that's one thing about time. You can't change it. Time is irreversible, huh?
What a pity. But tell me, why can't you slow time down or speed it up? Tell me why.
But you can do that to time in some places. Places like big star agglomerations, or even a rocket flying at high speed. Places whose attraction is so strong that time passes more slowly in comparison to ours. But if you're on board the rocket, it would seem like time on Earth was passing much faster.
Are these clocks electric clocks?
No, they're electronic clocks with crystals.
I bet they work well, don't they, Noel?
Some accurate atomic clocks only have an error of 1 second every 10,000 years.
Why would you want such an accurate clock, Noel? Why? Why?
There are all sorts of scientific experiments where such accuracy in time is necessary.
I must admit, I can see how important time is now. But I don't think I'll be quite as fussy about accuracy as that.
Nor would I. See you soon.
Bye, Noel. My dad said the lightning was a bit like electricity. Doesn't make any sense to me, though. Electricity comes from power points, and lightning comes from the sky. I wish Noel was here to explain it all to me.
Hey, quick! Open up! Let me in!
Noel!
Oh, what a night! Achoo! Huh? Now, what was you saying? Ah, yes, electricity. Wonderful stuff, used for so many things. That one. That. And that. And those. It's pretty complicated, though. This subject's going to need a long journey, I think.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Meet my friends, the electrons. Hey!
Electrons? That's a funny name. Why are they called that?
Well, electron means yellow amber in Greek. In the 6th century BC, Thales de Mille discovered that amber contained certain properties. He learned that when it was rubbed against woolen material, it attracted various live bodies. Ta-da! You see, everything is made up of molecules. These molecules, in turn, are made up of atoms. And it's these atoms that contain a nucleus around which my electron friends rotate. There they go. So, when we rub the amber, the negative electrons pass from one body to another. That's what the electrifying process is all about. Achoo!
Gesundheit.
Oh, thank you. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Electric power is formed by a line of negative electrons passing through a body called a conductor. However, they are unable to pass through one called an insulator. Conductors pass electrons, insulators block them.
I think I understand it now. Negative electrons move through conductors to light up light bulbs and to produce light. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. But that's not all. When electric current travels through a narrow conductor, the current produces heat as well as light. That's how appliances like that electric stove work. Achoo!
Do you want me to make you some tea?
Yes, please. Delicious. Electricity can do many things. It can heat up irons for ironing clothes. Silver plating, gold plating, nickel plating is also an electrical process which is called galvanization. There they go.
Look out, hey!
Hey, watch out! Oh, I nearly forgot to tell you. Touching an electric circuit in two places is extremely dangerous. That poor gorilla, the whole current just flowed right through him. It's called electrocution. Water is a very good electrical conductor, so never touch the metallic part of a plugged-in appliance with wet hands. You should also never touch electrical wires or poles which have fallen on the ground. Hi, Noel. Hi there, Mr. Pole. Excuse me if we don't shake hands. Warning signs like this that warn you of a dangerous electrical current should be obeyed.
I can see how dangerous it is. I won't go near it. That's for sure. But tell me, how is electric power produced?
There are two methods of producing electric power. Either in power stations fueled by burning coal, or in hydroelectric plants that harness the force of water.
I don't understand.
Well, remember how electric current is formed by negative electrons moving through conductors? Well, to make the electrons move, we need energy. With the help of a generator, hydroelectric plants transform the energy from moving water into a negative electron moving energy, as do power stations. Except they get their energy from coal, not water. Hey, hold on. Don't be in such a hurry. You shouldn't waste electricity. Just remember, a lot of people work very hard to give you this energy. Tons of coal is burnt and dozens of hydroelectric plants are built. Huh?
Thank you very much for telling me all about electric power, Noel. It's been great. I've learned so much.
You're welcome. Achoo! I think I'd better go to bed now. See you soon.
Bye, Noel. Take care of yourself. Hey, look at all those signs those children are holding up. They're all nonsense. They don't know how to write at all.
Of course they can. Everything they've written makes perfect sense. If you could read their alphabets, you'd understand that all of them have written exactly the same word as you.
Their alphabets? You mean there's more than one?
Of course. There are many alphabets and many different sorts of writing.
But an alphabet's just an alphabet, like we're taught in school.
Oh, it may be simple now, but it wasn't always so. It took a long time for people to discover and develop the alphabet that you and I know today.
Really?
Come along. Let's get started, and I'll show you what happened.
Okay.
Let's go. Here we go to the wonderful world of writing.
Where are we? I don't think I like this place.
Don't worry, it's just a cave. This is where Stone Age hunters used to live, thousands of years ago. Drawing for them was a bit like writing. It was a way they could leave messages. He's telling other hunters about a herd of bison that are close by. He says they can be hunted quite easily. Or again, maybe he was saying that it wasn't such a good idea trying to hunt them. Look out! Messages like this could be a bit confusing.
I see what you mean, but it's still nothing like the writing I know.
There's still a long way to go before people discovered the alphabet. Let's go! Look over there. See that man carving those signs on that piece of wood? Well, he's also writing something.
You're right. Hey, the other man read the signs and followed him. What was the message?
Well, the first man wrote that he needed some help for the hunt. Here, come along, Bird Brain. We've got a long way to go yet. We're going way, way up north.
Bird brain. Oh.
In some places, people drew their stories and messages on animal skins. The skins were very useful because they didn't rot and they were easy to fold.
All those signs. Do you know what they mean?
The drawings on this skin tell the history of this Indian tribe. Everything down to the last detail. See? There was once an epidemic of whooping cough. And a flood, too.
Looks like we got caught in the flood, too, doesn't it? Where's this river taking us, Noah?
To Samaria, on the banks of the river Tigris.
Really?
Uh-huh. About 3,000 years ago. The Sumerians invented a form of writing called cuneiform. They used a thin reed to make marks in wet clay.
Well, it still doesn't look like the writing I know, but at least it's not just pictures anymore.
The Sumerians had stopped using drawings, but their neighbors, the ancient Egyptians, still did. They had a system of writing with pictures that they called hieroglyphics.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Over time, the Egyptian hieroglyphics gradually evolved and became the letters of the Latin alphabet, the same alphabet that we use today.
Well, how could those pictures become letters?
Oh, I'm not saying it happened overnight. It was a gradual process of simplification. When other people from other countries, Phoenicians, Greeks, Romans, all started using hieroglyphics, they gradually modified and changed the drawings until they became letters.
So they were the real inventors then, weren't they?
Let's go. They were inventors, but they weren't the only inventors. There's the Great Wall of China. Landing soon. In ancient China, drawings evolved in a different way. They gradually became a kind of pictogram.
And that's how writing was born. Wow!
My gosh, look at the time. We'd better head for home.
Don't worry, I know what we can do. An A-frame, please. You ready? It's an A-frame plane.
Well done. Ho-ho! Let's call past the museum. We'll see all the beautiful books they've got there, all handwritten. They're called manuscripts, gorgeously decorated, part of the history of writing.
Well, there's something that still puzzles me, though. How do people understand each other, especially now when people travel so much?
Well, now there's a system of drawings that's used worldwide that everyone can understand. Airport, telephone. And this one's a restaurant, concert hall, drinking water, theater, and a post office.
This is my universal sign.
Oh yes, the best message of all, peace. Bye-bye.
Bye, Noel. This stupid wind, I hate it. It's not good for anything except being a nuisance.
That's where you're wrong. Wind can be very useful.
I don't believe you. It doesn't know how to do anything except blow and blow and blow.
It may seem that way to you here, but we have learned to use the enormous force of power of wind for our own benefit. Come along, I'll show you. In the beginning, people were frightened by wind. It was so powerful. They didn't know where it came from or how they could control it. They imagined the wind was made by unseen giants who lived way up in the sky. They thought these giants were playing tricks on them, and that gentle winds were made when they were happy, and that hurricanes were made when they were angry. Look at me now! That's what they thought the winds looked like.
That's so silly.
But then, one day, they realized that wind could help them. They realized they could put a sail on their ship instead of having to row everywhere. The first sails were very simple. But they gradually got more and more complicated. And the more complicated they got, the further and faster they could travel in their boats.
Don't they look beautiful?
This was when the era of great geographical discoveries began. Christopher Columbus, a famous Portuguese navigator, discovered a whole new continent that he called America. And then one day, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, the wind stopped blowing completely. Columbus' boats were stuck, for without wind, the boats would not travel. They started to run out of food and water, and Columbus thought they were finished. Fortunately, the wind started blowing again, and his ships reached the coast.
Winds sure do like playing games with people, don't they? But what I don't understand is what makes the winds blow in the first place.
It's all to do with the temperature of the air. If the air is heated up by the land and gets warmer, it starts to rise and slowly moves to the upper layers of the atmosphere.
To the one that's colored in blue.
Yes, that's how the air currents are formed.
I went on a trip once and saw windmills. They're powered by air, aren't they?
That's right. The force of the wind makes the arms on the windmills turn around. And that movement is transmitted to other mechanisms that can perform different operations. Some windmills cut wood. Some make water go uphill. Some beat pistons with hammers. Or lift people up in the air like you or Don Quixote. Take large winged birds, for example. Watch the way they're carried way up high by the air currents. Around 1500, Leonardo da Vinci, an Italian who was a great painter and inventor, was the first person to draw a flying machine. However, it took another 400 years before the sailplane, or deltaplane, was finally invented. As a matter of fact, wind is a very important source of energy today. Wind-generating stations can now produce enough electricity to power lights and general industry. It's even possible to make a relatively simple contraption that can supply all the current necessary to power a house. Wind is being used more and more by man. It's even used for transporting things by water and land. And now some ships, not sailing ships, but modern ships, even carry special systems designed to capture wind. So you see, wind isn't really a nuisance after all. Besides, you can always fly a kite. Whoa-ho! Whoa-ho!
Howdy doody, little snail. Aren't you beautiful?
Yeah.
No!
Isn't that snail wonderful, the way he carries his home on his back?
I've got my home, too. I've got my tent and my food.
Caravans are a bit like snails' houses, too, aren't they? People were imitating nature when they made their first tent.
Are there tents in nature?
Of course. Or even houses. Come along and I'll show you. Look at that little house. There you are. In the beginning, people imitated nature by using materials they found in nature herself. Then they discovered better, stronger materials, and they invented new tools to work the material with. That's how constructions using right angles and circles appeared. Some of these designs are still in use today. Chimneys, however, hadn't been invented yet. Oh! Keeping the climate in mind, as well as the building materials available, people designed and built houses from all sorts of different materials. Some were from stone. Some were from wood or leaves of trees, and some even with snow.
That's an igloo, isn't it? I've heard about them. They're lined with animal fur, so the Eskimos keep nice and warm inside.
And so, one discovery led to another. People began to build even more solid and more spacious and more comfortable houses.
Hey, I've seen a place like that near where I live.
Shh! Our inventor is cooking up a new design. Let's have a look and see what he's up to.
So that's what it was, a two-story house.
Uh-huh. When people came to live in the cities, they needed to create more living space. They started building upwards. Houses with 2 or more stories were built. They also started building chimneys. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to breathe because of the smoke.
Hey, that's the Eiffel Tower.
Uh-huh. The real building revolution began in the 18th century when industrial ladders started being manufactured from iron. That's how it was possible to build tall buildings with several solid floors.
That was when modern architecture and big cities and big factories were born, wasn't it?
Yes, but don't forget concrete. The invention of concrete changed so many things. Thanks to concrete, man was able to build more quickly, and solidly, and cheaply. In it goes. And if we use this steel mesh like a skeleton, it reinforces the concrete. We end up with a material that is both strong and elastic.
I don't think I want to climb all the way to the top of that building.
That's why elevators were invented. The first ones were simple and uncomfortable. But then, hydraulically operated lifts were invented. And finally, electrical ones. Going up. Here we are.
What's that down there? It looks like half a house.
Oh, that's part of a prefabricated house. Many houses today are prefabricated. Walls and roofs come ready-made and are assembled on the site by the builder. Over here. Okay.
Whoops, wrong door.
Prefabricated homes are light, strong, and quick to put up. Man is still looking to nature for inspiration in building. He gets ideas from all sorts of places, and then puts them into practice. Homeward bound.